Hi, I'm doing this video to try to prevent children being shot in school shootings. We just had that tragedy happen in Minneapolis where, while kids were praying, they got shot and two died and so many injured. Now, how do we prevent school shootings? One, people with mental health problems should not have access to guns. Um, when you buy a gun, it should have to go through the police department or have to go through healthcare, or the police have access to healthcare records to know whether there's mental health history with a person, and they shouldn't be able to buy a gun. That would prevent some things. People who have guns should lock them up so that they're safe against people who might use them, except for trap shooting or actually hunting. Those are the two main reasons, or, just skeet shooting, that someone might want to use a gun. And it might prevent suicidal thoughts from, if someone has them, from using a gun on themselves if they're locked up and kept safely somewhere. And next is, after the gun point, is the magazines with the gun. Um, any magazines that hold like 20 shots or 40 shots, I don't know how many they can hold, but any magazines that hold a lot of cartridges shouldn't be allowed with the public. It should only be allowed with the military. And those guns should maybe be confiscated from people's houses and taken away, because only the military really need that kind of magazine cartridge. And they could do a house to house and gather those things, and military or police, and confiscate them, because we don't need them. And they end up killing many people if someone uses it against people and not just for trap shooting or shooting. Um, so next, after the guns, because the guns are usually how they're taking or hurting the kids, is how do we prevent someone from hurting people? It starts in the schools, and it starts with parenting. I believe it starts in the schools, and it starts with parenting. Picked on, bullied, and teased are very hurt people. That if you witness someone picking on, bullying, and tease, stick up for them. Stick up for the underdog, and try to correct the situation and stop the bullies from picking on someone else. It goes with respect. It goes with respect for people, and no matter what they look like, they have a heart, and they're beautiful, even if you don't think so. They are. And it's not right to really push people out and pick on them and tease them. It causes hate, and hate needs to be understood. When you start to hate, when you get hurt, for whatever reasons, people develop hate. And hate needs to be described in empathy. Empathy for people, for lives. So many people don't care about others' feelings or walk in their shoes or have empathy for other people, that they don't care if they take out somebody. They don't realize that person had a whole life to live and they're dead now, and how death is kind of the end, but you can live on as an angel in heaven and hell, but life is kind of like the end. Life is permanent, and you have gangs and stuff that do drive-bys, and you have stuff like that happen, and if they hit somebody, they don't really care. And they don't realize how important or how precious life is. For some reason, when you're young, you don't think you're going to die. You think you'll live forever. But you don't realize how precious life is to somebody or to somebody else, or the person that they lost. To lose your kid and have to bury your kid, it's horrific. So I want to prevent the school shootings, and I think to prevent them, we have to look at picked on, bullied, teased, and hate. And we have to address them in schools. And the bullies need to be stopped. And why are they bullies? Why are they bullying somebody? It could be a reason. Everybody's got a reason for what they do. But who's picking on them and teasing them? And if it's all out there, the pick on, teased, it really can start to go into your mind and make you think that this is really how I am. And it can really hurt an individual where they just want to fit in, and they didn't do anything wrong, and they just want to be friends with somebody. Everybody just wants to be accepted and liked, usually. But some people don't care. They have this, they like who they like, and they'll pick on somebody if they want to. They have the attitude. There's an attitude of no respect. There needs to be respect for others, and there needs to be empathy for others. There needs to be acceptance, and there needs to be love. And when you get those positives, and you practice that in your schools, and you practice that in your churches, and you practice that, and you really talk about empathy, and you talk about love, and you talk about respect, and you explain hate, and you get a lot of haters together. And they might do horrific things, and get ideas. And people who are down might start to hate, and they bring others into their group or their clique, and then you get haters together. I hope I helped. I hope I help you see the light that, picked on, bullied, and teased is needs to be addressed and stopped in the schools, so they don't develop the hate. And the bullies need to be stopped and addressed, and find out why they're bullying and what's wrong, because usually there's a reason why they're doing it too. And I think it would prevent a lot of the school shootings. And that's my advice. And that's, as psychology-wise, how to maybe prevent the school shooting. Another one. I don't want to see any more happen. It's so tragic. The loss of life. The loss of life is horrific, to lose a kid at a young age. So, thank you. Bye.